Nashville, likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Nashville.
Mike, here we go. Waiting. Check tight.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Shotgun now for Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And on their first drive, they're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
But there is a certainty in this game. We know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on fourth down. Wentz to throw for it on fourth. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
18 Gator. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Hey, Charlie. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53. Ready?
3rd and long. It's Tannehill. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. We're scoreless after 1. So on 4th down, the Titans will turn it over to their punter since 2009, and that's Brett Kern. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a 1st down.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Wentz escaping the pressure right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Now Wentz. He can run for it, and he will. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Go. Please.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
Check. 120. Check 55. Let's get that line. Done. Check right. Watching it by. I got you.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders as the first half is winding down, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Got it.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
And that is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you...
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Corey Davis in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
53, Mike, 53. Not today, you are. Not today.
To throw is Tannehill. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line. 10-2, sir. 22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Now! Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship, watch the ship. Yep. Crunch, crunch. Crunch.
Just beating the play clock now. It's Tannehill. This will be caught by Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Throwing again is Tannehill. He gets it to Humphreys. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Tannehill throwing complete to Davis, and he has another first. First down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
And the Titans first down. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Tannehill on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
Sponge, man. Shoot. Switch. 6 guys. Check 6.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, here's the Tennessee field goal unit led by Ryan Succop. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. The run on 1st down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jarrell Casey able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz flushed out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Hey, Alpha. Check. 53.
Tannehill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
all you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It's caught by Aguilar. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. They run with Howard, and he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Here we go. Waiting. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Back to throw. This is caught. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. This Titan defense, they just will not give in easily. Looking for another stop, 3rd and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Elliott is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Hey, Will. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Jim. Alert flare. Let go.
Tannehill. He dumps it off for Henry. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Tannehill now to throw. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Tannehill now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. 25 yards to the house as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary. Maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him. And look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And the Titans are going to come up with it. And that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides.
Nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage. Those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this,